Good evening. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the government is moving to amend the Offences of the Person Act to increase the mandatory minimum sentence for murder from 15 to 45 years. Minister Chuck made his address in the House of Parliament today. The government is firmly of the view that this will enable them to achieve the objective of ensuring that the potential sentence matches the gravity of the offense while remaining within the realm of the Constitution.
In this regard, Madam Speaker, the government is proposing to amend the OAPA as follows. In Section 3(1)(b) of the OAPA, Offences Against the Person Act, to increase the mandatory minimum sentence of imprisonment from 15 years to 45 years. In Section 3(1)(c), regarding eligibility for parole for capital murder, Section 1(c)(a), increase the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole from 20 years to 50 years. For non-capital murder, Madam Speaker, where the sentence given was life imprisonment, increase the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole from 15 years to 40 years. And where the sentence given was a term of years, increase the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole from 10 years to 35 years. The government, Madam Speaker, is firmly of the view that these proposals achieve the objective of ensuring that the potential sentence matches the seriousness and gravity of the offense, whilst remaining within the realm of constitutionality by preserving some degree of discretion in the courts and allowing the possibility of a subsequent reconsideration of the court's position.
Minister Chuck further emphasized that a clear and unmistakable message must be sent to killers that their actions will be met with a lengthy period of incarceration.
Madam Speaker, a clear and unmistakable message must be sent to potential killers that their wanton and heartless act will be met with disgust, repugnance, and a lengthy period of incarceration. Having taken a life, Madam Speaker, the offender cannot and should not be allowed to enjoy the remainder or most of the remainder of his life freely and unburdened. Madam Speaker, we invite comments from everyone to indicate their position and the appropriateness of these proposed penalties, and we do invite public discussion before they're enacted.
In other news tonight, the Germany Ship Repair Jamaica Limited GSRJ shipyard project launch was held today, January 24 in Kingston. Now the development seeks to employ and train young Jamaicans, develop the economy, enhance the growing global logistics hub in Jamaica, and set the pace for other business ventures. The shipyard will provide ship repair and maintenance services for container vessels, general cargo vessels and tankers, and Navy and Coast Guard vessels. The keynote speaker, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, in his address highlighted that the project is a significant investment and will bring more economic growth and job creation.
The project is a significant investment and will bring more economic growth and job creation to our country for the benefit of our people. Jamaica is located at the geographic center of the Americas and is placed strategically within a region with a combined population of over 800 million persons belonging to countries of various levels of economic development and income. These countries consume a wide range of industrial, commercial, technological, and pharmaceutical products, many of which are currently produced and shipped from Asia into the region. Jamaica is blessed to be ideally located along the east to west shipping traffic region through the Panama Canal heading to North and South America. And you would have seen that if you look closely on the snapshot of all the ships, you would see that where Jamaica is located and the almost inevitability that if you intend to cross the region any at all, to move from North America to get down to South America, you have to come in proximity of Jamaica. And of course, the only reason why the ships don't stop here, or more ships don't stop here, is that we don't have all the services that are attractive to the ships.
The CEO of GSRJ, Colonel Martin Rickman, highlighted the significance of having the shipyard here in Jamaica due to the numerous shipping routes coming out of the Panama Canal.
Within the region, there are a number of other shipyards, some big, some small, and those are pointed out on the map. But based on the map that you just saw, and you would have seen the line of traffic, shipping traffic that is coming out of the Panama Canal, that Jamaica is right there front and center at the closest point and will attract the most attention for any shipping lines that will traverse through. And I've invited, our partners there representing the various lines to have a further discussion on what this can mean for us. So what happens in a shipyard? A shipyard is an area that we'll be able to provide dry docking capabilities for ships, for commercial ships that currently enters Jamaica's ports. And these are container vessels that you see every day coming into Kingston Harbor, and even ships that are going all around. In fact, if you look over to the right, to the gypsum quarry, there's a ship that is parked alongside. At the end of the day, we here at GSRJ Shipyard will be able to lift that ship out of the water to conduct many types of works on the hull, the propeller shaft work, engine repairs, and the entire 9 yards of that. So this is significant for us.
Mr. Rickman stated that recruitment and training to international standards has begun with the assistance of HART NSTA and the Caribbean Maritime Institute for Phase 1 of the project.
So training. GSRJ had started some time ago, and we have done a certain amount of training. Some of the actual trainees are standing in the back of the room here now, that we have raised their standards of training for working on board vessels to very, very high standards. Some have even gotten to the international certification standards already. And it is our intent to continue with this program with the HART and CMU who are here present to build on this partnership further to get more people in for the training.
As we continue with the news tonight, the Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, KFTL, needs local importers to expeditiously clear goods that are now being held there, and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, is backing this request. According to the JMEA, the situation at the port is critical and will have an impact on nearby businesses because of the port's ongoing backlogs if ships are not cleared. The organization claims to be aware of the difficulties being faced as a result of a variety of problems, including the disruption to global supply chains brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, which drove many enterprises to ramp up inventories. However, it states that importers would need to look into alternative storage possibilities for their containers and ensure that additional storage remains a viable option if normalcy is to be maintained at the ports. As we continue to bring updates on the reported fraud at SSL, Usain Bolt's account at Controversy-Ridden Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, is legitimate, according to a statement from the Ministry of Finance. The Financial Services Commission confirmed the existence of an account in the name of a limited liability business owned by Mr. Bolt, according to Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. According to an insider with knowledge of the investigation, the majority of withdrawals from the Wellian LLC account that Usain Bolt used to invest money in Stocks and Securities Limited were made using a former member of Bolt's team's identity and signature. It's alleged that it's still unclear whether the withdrawals between 2012 and 2017 were genuinely made by the former member of the team or if their signature was forged. Additionally, detectives are reportedly looking into an alleged transfer from Wellian LLC to an SSL account held by a former member of Bolt's team. In the meantime, I have no funds currently with SSL, and I have not done any business with SSL since September 2021. So says Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Mr. Holness went on to state that he wishes to also make it clear that neither he nor any member of his family have ever borrowed from SSL or received any form of credit facility from SSL. Following the cabinet meeting yesterday, and the general direction Mr. Holness has given to the government regarding transparency, he has asked all ministers to check and disclose the status of any accounts or investment relationships their ministries or agencies may have with Stocks and Securities Limited, adding that the NHT and the NHF have already made their release in keeping with this directive. Further to this, the Prime Minister outlined that, as he has previously disclosed to the public in February of 2016, he held an investment brokerage account with Stocks and Securities Limited. This account was opened in 2008 and has formed part of his statutory declarations since. Mr. Holness noted that in September of 2021, he liquidated the last remaining financial instrument managed by SSL on his behalf and gave instructions for his account to be closed. He says he has no funds currently with SSL and has not done any business with SSL since September of 2021. Mr. Holness went on to say that he wishes to also make it clear that neither he nor any member of his family have ever borrowed from SSL or received any form of credit facility from the company. He said these current allegations of fraud at SSL and the international attention it has drawn to our financial sector requires a commitment to the highest level of transparency, probity and accountability, and stated that the public must be assured that the political class has no conflict of interest that would prevent, delay, or dilute efforts to ensure that the truth of the allegations is uncovered, those responsible are held to account, and the victims receive justice. As we continue with the news tonight, a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between Jamaica and Sierra Leone will soon be signed. This in order to increase tourism collaboration between the two nations. Resilience and strengthening resilience will be a crucial area of attention to guarantee the tourism industry's future viability. The discussions centered around air connectivity, training and development, marketing and promotional activities, cultural exchange, tourism diversification and growth. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett in a press release stated that tourism resilience is now at the heart of the industry's survival, and as such, we must as destinations exchange ideas and best practices to create the infrastructure to build capacity to detect, respond, and recover from certain disruptions. The upcoming Global Tourism Resilience Conference will be held in Kingston at the University of the West Indies regional headquarters from February 15 to 17. Continuing with Mello TV News tonight, the Hanover police are requesting the public's assistance to locate a man who is suspected of killing his uncle last week. This following a land dispute at their residence in Hanover's Forest area. 32-year-old laborer Ramiro McCollum from Forest District has been named as the suspect in the killing of 51-year-old Forest District Mason Dwight Briggy Levy. According to information provided by the Ramble police, it is suspected that McCallum fatally shot Levy on Wednesday afternoon during a dispute. According to reports, the accused man asked his uncle to remove his cow from family property, which he claimed was the case. Levy's common-law spouse, Gloria Watt, is struggling to accept her loss. The upset woman revealed that Levy and his two nephews have been at odds over control of the family's farm for some time, and that by late last year, things had reached a breaking point. Watt went on to state that on the day of the incident, she was with her common-law husband and had just left him to go to prepare his meal.
I come on, they cook every cook, me put on the food. Me open the door, me look at him come. And me not see no sign of him. Me next no call me saying they call me long time. And you know said Dwight dead. I just finger a bucket and run off. I go and then me see him lie down on the ground. And nothing more.
So what you heard that took place? What you hear take place?
Things are said his daughter, mother, say, do I run come out call her, hey, Dwight them, we may kill Dwight, my brother. He kill my brother. I know.
So the gentleman, what him call him, that gentleman that did it?
We may Makalam.
Makalam. So what is Dwight's nephew, right?
Yes.
So what kind of dispute them have? What is the argument? What kind of land? We understand that they have a land dispute.
Yes, but me explain. One morning, we go a shop. And we go buy something fish, make tea. And after, me I go round. And me say, he took her and coming back at me. And he say, don't lick me. And me say, you can't lick me. And after that, me see just go up and look out inside with me cousin house and take up a gun. And me go and go tell Dwight. And Dwight, the quiet, say, what we no can't live good. And put on the gun, man, and tap in his face. And me look, see him run go far. And come for by your back with it. And me, what if I come there and they tell say them feel live good? First time I don't feel good, man, live good. And he walk back to the gun and we go and ramble. Before the sun come.
Continuing with the news tonight, the Jamaica Public Service Company, Jpsco, the island's energy company, has announced the launch of Phase 1 of its initiative to replace vehicles in its fleet with electric vehicles. Phase 1 will see 40 vehicles being replaced in the short term as they come to end of use. The initiative officially commenced with the first 6 vehicles being handed over at last week's kickoff ceremony at the Jpsco's head office. They will be used in field services and other operations. The vehicles are being deployed to teams at the New Kingston head office, the Bogue operations in St. James, as well as the Ruthven Road Customer Service Office and the LDC Spanish Town Road operations in St. Andrew. Elaborating on the types of vehicles involved in the replacement program, Jpsco's Director of the Asset Optimization and Project Management Office, Orlando McCoy, explained that the company is focusing on pickups, panel vans, and eventually major specialized equipments. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.